We met in a gun store. I was working in a gun store. He was handsome and charming, and I flirted, and so he asked me out. He was an officer with San Leandro PD. He loved people. He loved helping people. That was the reason he wanted to become a cop. It was just a weekday. It wasn't a big deal. You know, before I went to bed, I talked to him. You know, I always said the same thing: be careful, I love you. And then at about 1 a.m., I heard banging on the door, knocking on the door, and I opened it, and there were 3 of my friends standing there in their uniforms. Neil said, "Dan's been shot." I said, "Is he okay? Is he okay?" And they said he passed. So Dan was responding to a disturbance call. It was Irving's 23rd birthday that day. He had been drinking all day, and he just decided he didn't want to go back to jail. So while Dan was turned away, Irving took out a gun and shot him 7 times. After we got the sentence, I expected to have some relief. It did nothing for me. It didn't help me at all. Nothing good, nothing positive was coming out of my husband's death. Just nothing. I really feel like I want to use this experience and work for some positive change instead of just sitting at home being angry all the time. What we need to be doing is helping others heal. That's where, for me, that's where I found my healing. Many, many victims, most victims, don't have any help. In the midst of their grief, they have to deal with all these things. What we want to do is give them psychological counseling, give them some trauma support so they can put their lives back together. I had an experience that really opened my eyes to what is going on in the criminal justice system. And it's this revolving door of crime and punishment, crime and punishment. That's why I really believe that Californians for Safety and Justice, the work that they're doing is so important. What we want to do is take the huge amount of waste in our criminal justice system, and instead of investing it into more prisons, that we invest it in the communities that end up filling those prisons. So we can prevent things like what happened to Dan from happening again. We can do so much better, but it's going to take us to make that shift.